Welcome to Market Matters. I'm Khoo Chuang with Lynn, Tang. This is Stocks with the Momentum. We've got two counters on the plate this morning, this afternoon. SP Setia, they closed the day at 4% higher to 328. Weak market conditions and the loss of key management personnel in the last few months. For example, Tan Liu, they hit the stock pretty hard recently, but they've come back because in the last 12 months, in fact, they haven't come back from that because in the last 12 months, they've been down 1.5%. But in the last few weeks, they've been heading a bit of a high, which I guess is the reason behind the Edge Research pegging the stock as negative momentum.
Suggesting that maybe the stock has actually run up quite a bit in the last few weeks. But yeah, Chuang, like you mentioned, since August 25th, it was trading at $2.95. So it's actually gained 11% since then. So it's worth to note that at the low of $2.95, it's actually at a one-year low.
That's right. But the thing is that the run-up in the last few weeks has actually come because of the 9-month earnings, right? Because at that point in time, they had actually met full-year forecast earnings and consensus forecasts of earnings as well. So on the sales side, they've actually told the market they're aiming for 4 billion ringgit of sales for the year. They've done 2.5 already so far. They've got another 5 months to go, because not 3 months, but 5 months, because they've changed the year end to December. So they've got 5 months to meet 1.5 billion ringgit.
Well, sales target aside, though, I mean, analysts, especially Alliance DBS, it's come up with a report. It said that it's actually raised its FY 15 and 16 earnings because of its higher margins from overseas projects. So while other property developers, their exposure is mostly within the Malaysia front, right? SP Setia also has projects in Australia and upcoming Battersea Power Station in the UK.
That's right. So analysts like people at MIDF as well as the other counters, they quite like the fact that there's also Australian earnings, there's also UK earnings, and the fact that there's a nice dividend yield of 5.3% according to MIDF, which is higher than the prior average of 4.5%. Let's move along, Lynn, to our next stock in momentum, which is Chee Wah. They are a small company and they also are a negative momentum. They're up 6% on the day to 57 cents, but they're up 10% in the last 3 weeks, which I guess is why the Edge Research has pegged them as negative momentum.
Right, so Chee Wah is actually in the business of manufacturing and selling stationeries, printing materials, under the brands called Compub and Forest, like notebooks and stuff. Have you heard of the brands before, Chuang?
Actually, no, but I left school a long time ago.
Oh, right. Okay, how long ago?
Many years ago.
Right, so this company, so it sells stationeries, right? So exports has been increasing for the group, so it was only about 62% of sales back in 2014, 89% in the fourth quarter 2015, and for the full year 2015, it's at 71%. So the company did say that revenue and earnings actually for the last quarter did very well because partly it's because of its exports play and also dollar denominated. Yeah,
but if you look at the stock within on a 5-year basis, from between 2010 and 2013, they lost money. Then in 2014, they made a small profit, 135,000 ringgit or something. And then in 2015, which is the last financial year, they had a very nice big bounce. So they've done a bit of a streamlining exercise, what I call kitchen sinking.
Kitchen sinking, right? But at least it actually made efforts to spring clean. I mean, took the house in order, right?
Yeah, so they had 5 retail outlets. They closed all of them. They cut costs. They bought some small. They actually up production capacity. So that's actually quite good for them on a stock basis.
They've also disposed subsidiaries which are actually involved in manufacturing paper bags and related packaging products. So it's actually focused on just stationeries right now. This actually reminds me of the company Pelican. Do you know?
That's right. Yeah, the larger peer.
Larger peer, but it's also, I think, loss-making at one point, and they also had some consolidation exercise. I don't know. Do you think it's a sunset industry though?
Oh, the stationery, and it's people always use pencils and rulers. But that being said, I'm going to wrap up the Edge Research stock to the momentum. 2 stocks we had, SP Setia and Chee Wah. Setia, of course, had 9-month earnings very strong for the year. They got 5 more months to meet the 1.5 billion ringgit remainder of the sales target. Chee Wah as well, a stationery maker, also negative momentum. They've done very well with the kitchen sinking. They've risen up quite a lot in the last 3 weeks. So again, probably a bit of fatigue in the share price right now.